the technical machinery that'll be needed for this next robotic revolution, or whatever you would call it. When you look at movies like Blade Runner or Star Wars, you'll see these communities of robots that clearly aren't the hobby toys that are being used today to prove the use cases. You know, aerial imagery and these types of things. They have to be well designed, well built aircraft, which is the goal that I came into building this company with, was that we would build commercial grade aircraft. And so we wouldn't be, just by definition, we wouldn't be dealing with amateur users. Everything that we do is to be airworthy or safe to fly. And so that means the vehicle that we build constantly goes through review to see how it can be made safer or better. The operations that we intend for our end user to implement is that same goal. If one small thing goes wrong with the aircraft and the user doesn't know enough to regain control, that can be the difference between success and failure, or ultimately the failure of whatever the job is. So, talking about Aerotestra, I can almost back up a little bit and say that what I'll be focusing on will be Testra Robotics, or a larger overarching goal of commercial, industrialized robotic platforms. And so Aerotestra would be one component of that. TerraTestra would be terrestrial or land-based rovers and robots. Not much different from the aerial versions. In fact, they use the same autopilot systems to operate. Every type of robotic system will need this standardization to really be implemented. What you'll see right now is if somebody develops a robotic application, they'll also develop the robot that goes along with it. But it's not, you're not typically going to find the level of engineering that goes into that robot being performed as well from a software company. So as the space matures, you're going to find that companies are going to again rise to the surface in their specific skill sets, and there will be companies that develop the way that the software and the data is brought in and processed and distributed, and there will be companies that deal with the vehicles, like Boeing or Lufthansa or Airbus. These companies don't offer round trips flights to Las Vegas or Korea. They build the aircraft. And so that's the difference between Aerotestra and most of these other companies. Now, I say that, but in the short term, we do offer some services because given the business climate around UAVs, you effectively have to be creative right now to bring in revenue.